Hello, 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 hello. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Debbie Michael, I see that you're watching. Hello. Thanks for tuning in. Hello, Doctor. Good evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is another episode of Honest Conversations with Chinaza Favor, and I'm very, very excited for this particular episode because it is something that needs to be talked about. I'm very excited. If you are on, please share with your friends, invite them to join this conversation because it is going to be amazing as always. Amazing as always. All right, so I'm going to give just a few minutes to have everyone on. Hello, Tolu Joseph. It's good to have you here. Good evening. I'm so happy to have you all here. Good evening, good evening, good evening. So, today we have a very important topic to discuss, and I promise it's not going to be a very long conversation. I hope to keep this under 45 minutes so that we are off on time, all right? Okay, there are 4 people here watching. Okay, if you're watching, please comment. I want to see your comments. I want to know where you're watching me from. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. So today we have this topic that we need to talk about. We really, really need to talk about it because that's what honest conversations is all about, right? We talk about these things that are not usually talked about, you know. And if no one is willing to talk about it, I am willing to talk about it. Hello, Chine Joy. It's good to have you here. Tolu Joseph says, I look beautiful. Thank you so much, sis. Thank you. Chineye, I'm good. I hope you're well too. My day went well. I hope your days went well too. All right. So the topic we have today to discuss is unhealthy comparison. This deadly poison. This deadly, deadly poison called unhealthy comparison. Remember, see, I take note of the fact that I said unhealthy because if it's unhealthy, then it means that there's a healthy version of comparison, right? We are going to be having that conversation in subsequent episodes. But for this particular episode, we are discussing unhealthy comparison. Hello, Miracle Chinenye, you're joining from Lagos. It's good to have you here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful time by the time we are. Okay, I hope you have a wonderful time here. And by the time we are done, that you will have gotten massive value from this conversation. Okay, so we need to talk about unhealthy comparison because, I mean, it is very, very normal. It's a normal human tendency to compare ourselves with others. If you're not doing that, then it means maybe you are too focused on your journey. Maybe you need to look around because while you're on a journey, it's important for you to take a look around, and see what others are doing and see if there is a way for you to adjust, make adjustments and all that and do better. But then it becomes unhealthy when you just focus on other people's journey, right? So, unhealthy comparison, give me your fire emoji if you are ready to have this conversation. Give me your fire emoji. Your fire emoji. That's what I want to see. Give me your fire emoji. In case you're joining me for the first time, my name is Chinaza Favor. I am known as the healer, and I am a wholesome living advocate. I help people to overcome their insecurities. I help people to discover who they are, and I help people to overcome and let go of their emotional baggages. Today, I can see your fire emoji. Yes, Dr. Lily and Michael Debbie. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. And in this talk show, we discuss issues that are very, very important and pertinent as far as life is concerned, that other people might find a bit embarrassing or uncomfortable to discuss, but that is why I'm here. Michael Debbie, this is your first time. Wow, wow. And you're the first person to take the seat. You're the first person. You are the only person here. It's good to have you. It's good to have you. You should be giving a gift. Chine, please give him Zobo and Puff Puff. Let me mirror my mentor. Okay. All right. So, unhealthy comparison. When you hear unhealthy comparison, what comes to your mind? Like, is it wrong to compare? Why did I say it is unhealthy? At what point would you say that comparison has become unhealthy? At what point would you say that no, you're beginning to cross the line? At what point would you say, I think you need to slow down? I think you're focusing too much on other people's journey. At which point will you just say, okay, this is it. It's time that I refocus. When does it become unhealthy? When does comparison become unhealthy? I really wish this was a Zoom session, but so that you can easily give me your inputs vocally and I can see your beautiful faces because you all are beautiful people. But since we're on YouTube, let me make do with your comments. So when do you say that a comparison has become unhealthy? When does it become toxic? Because the title of this conversation is The Deadly Poison Unhealthy Comparison. The deadly poison unhealthy comparison. When does it become deadly? How do you even know that it is now deadly, that it is not time, that like it is time for you to make amends in your mind and in your focus? So you are very happy on your lane, you are doing so well in your life, or so you think. Like the grass is very, very green on your side. It is green. Also, you think you've been watering your grasses, you've been doing just fine in your field, you've been doing just fine in your circle and in your space. Then all of a sudden, you look the other side and you see this other grass shining, so green, looking so healthy. And in that moment, you begin to think that your grass is not green enough. You begin to think that you are not doing enough. You begin to think that, what exactly have I been doing? Right? So, what do you do when the grass becomes greener or when the grass seems to be greener on the other side? What do you do when it seems as if other people are becoming more successful than you are? When it looks as if, because I didn't say when others are actually more successful, I said when it looks as if. Because how do you know that it is actually greener? How do you know that that grass you're looking at is actually greener on the other side? When do you, how do you know that that mirror, that illusion of coldness that you see on the other side is really coldness and not mirage that comes from heat? There is this song by Jonathan McReynolds that I really, really love. It is Comparison Kills. In fact, it's from that song that I got the subtitle of this conversation where I said, what to do when the grass looks greener on the other side. He sang, the grass was fine till it looked greener on the other side. Now you're feeling like you're left behind. Why try to match what should be one of a kind? That song spoke really to me, even though I was never the kind of person that compared myself to people. But I was wondering if I wasn't this kind of person and this song could minister this much to me, how much more others who are always in this bout of comparison and comparison and comparison. Let me go through your comments and see what we have here. Iguazelili says, when you focus more on another person's journey and trying to now do everything they do, instead of focusing on your own journey and gradual progress. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And Chineye Joy says, when some other person's progress is beginning to depress you. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. So it all boils down to when it is all about the other person's journey, right? So unhealthy comparison is when you lose focus of where you are, when you lose focus of your journey, and you keep paying more attention to other people's journey and where they are in their journeys. When you lose focus of where you are, when you pay less attention to your journey and you pay more attention to other people's journey, and just like Dr. Igweze Lillian says, you begin now trying to copy everything that they do. You want to do everything that they do because you think, okay, his grass is greener, mine isn't greener, and I have to do exactly what you do so that my grass will be greener. Now, that is not bad in itself, but we are coming to why it is not so good. Okay, so before we even talk about any other thing, how are you sure? Let me ask this question. How are you sure that that happy person you are seeing, especially in this world of social media where anyone can just take a picture and edit it and make it look so beautiful, or where people just capture one moment in their lives and you just use that one moment that they captured and posted and use that one moment to judge your whole existence? It is very, very common in these days. And I really, really hope that this conversation will help us to understand the lies that are on social media, the lies that people put out here in the name of whatever, fame, or for the likes, for the views. I need you to understand that most of people's lives that you see on social media are just a fraction of their lives. They are just a fraction of their lives. They cannot show you their whole lives on social media. They cannot. You see that beautiful couple you are admiring that is making you to now look down on your own relationship. That beautiful couple you're admiring that makes you to look down on your spouse's efforts to make your relationship work, whether it's your lover or your spouse, whoever. And so you think that these people, see how they're smiling. Look at their beautiful cars. You're not even working enough to get me a new car. Like, ladies are feel too entitled. I don't even know where that entitlement mentality comes from. Yes, ladies, I'm talking to you. Now, you pick one moment in their lives that you don't even know whether they just finished arguing before that picture was taken. You take that picture they took because they're all shining their teeth. And you bring it to your reality where you are happy 99% of the time with your spouse, where you don't really quarrel with your spouse, when you are able to argue respectfully and get to a resolution to your problems easily. But you think that other couple, because they showed you their happy picture, you now use that to judge your relationship. That is unhealthy. Very, very unhealthy. That is a lie, because how can you be sure that it is true? How are you sure that grass you're looking at that looks green is actually green? How are you sure? Let me ask you. How are you sure that green grass you're looking at from your own field, how are you sure that it was not color that was poured on the grasses? How are you sure that the grasses are not gray or even ash in color and it was just color, green color, that was poured on the field to make the grasses look green? Because I have seen a video where someone was just pouring color on grasses. I was like, this is real, God. What? And someone else on the other side who has been trying to tend to her grasses, who has been watering her grasses to look good, to be healthy, will now look at that other grass that is artificially colored and start feeling bad that they're not doing enough to make their grasses grow. That is unhealthy comparison, and you are just putting your mental health at risk. That mother you are looking at on social media that always posts pictures of her babies, my babies have the perfect character, her babies are she's always smiling with her babies. Hello, Mr. Lucky Nathan, it's good to have you here. It's good to have you here. Thanks for tuning in. So that woman, she shows you pictures of her babies and all of those beautiful things. And you as a mother, you are having it tough. You are having it rough at home. Your kids will not even sit down when you tell them to sit down. If you have a newborn baby, you're always tired. You're always breastfeeding your child. You are always trying to put everything together. But this other mother looks to have it all figured out. So looks to have it all together. You don't know what her house looks like. She only posts pictures for you to see. Can you call her and tell her to give you a tour of her house? Because you have been trying to put your house in order. So you are constantly tired. You want to make sure that your baby is in a safe and clean space. But that other mother possibly does not even have the time to start cleaning spaces. She's all about her body and the glam. So she takes care of herself, and when it's time to take pictures, she's able to control her babies to take pictures with her, and she posts it. But you are trying to make the best meals for your children, for your spouse, for your family. But that other woman, she's just making cornflakes for her children, morning, afternoon, and night. You don't even know it. Because how can you know? How can you be so sure that what they are showing you is not an illusion? How can you be so sure? Because we've gotten so caught up in this comparison that we just lose sight of where we are. We just lose sight of who we are. We just forget who we are. And this is telling on us. It is making us depressed. It's making us unsatisfied with our lives. It's making us feel very, very like everything is wrong with our journey. It is really, really sad what we've gotten ourselves into. But it is not for everyone. It is for this mental instability is for those who don't understand what social media is all about, who don't understand what the world is like. That people can leave their houses and show you the complete opposite of their lives. And then you kill yourself trying to make your whole life look like their fake portrayal or the illusion that they create for you. I have to talk about this first part of how do you even know what if what they are showing you is not true? What if what they are showing you is just an illusion? I have to talk about it before I get into what if it is true, right? What if it is true? But before I go into that, we need to understand that unhealthy comparison is not just when we compare ourselves to people who are doing better than us. Unhealthy comparison is when we compare ourselves to people who we are better than. So your self-esteem and your sense of worth and your confidence is just based on people's level of success. You feel bad when someone else is doing better than you, but you feel good when you are doing better than others. What a life! You feel so good when when you are doing better than others, when you are the best person in the room. You feel good when you have the best certificate, but your confidence drops the moment someone else does better than you. That is witchcraft. That is witchcraft. So it goes both ways. It goes both ways. It is unhealthy to compare your journey with someone else's. Because the same way you feel bad when another person is ahead of you is the same way another person might be feeling bad because you are ahead of them, right? And it is not doing us any good. You are on your unique path. That person is on their unique path. Whether the person that is higher than you, before you, or the person behind you. In fact, there's no one behind you and there's no one ahead of you, actually, because We are all in this together, but we are all on our lanes. I was watching Saguru. I don't know if you know him. He is so filled with wisdom. And he said that life is not a race. That if life was a race, if life was a race, then by now we should have completed our race. If it's about who will run the fastest, by now we should be 6 feet under. I don't know if you got that. If life was a race of the fastest, of the swiftest, then I don't think I should be living more than this, because I've come very far. So you're not in competition with anyone. You are on your journey. You are on your journey. You need to understand that you are an original. You are not a fake. You are not a replica of anyone. You cannot be the second whoever. It's important for you to understand that. You should not even try to be the second whoever. Be the best version of you. Because if you be the second whoever, who will now be you? If you keep trying to play someone else's role, who will play your character? Who will do that? But you just keep comparing yourself to all these other people, whether they have gone 6 years before you or any other thing like that. So to each man his lane, exactly. Mona Foster, it's good to have you here. To each man his lane. What breeds this unhealthy comparison, if I may ask? I think it's more about we focusing on our differences instead of what makes us unique, what makes us peculiar. And when I mean differences, I mean I am a very good singer. I'm not saying I am. I hope to be. And you want to learn to sing. But it is not your natural disposition. Like, it is not what you're naturally good at. But you just keep feeling bad that you cannot sing. Meanwhile, you are a perfect writer. You are a very good writer. So you see yourself comparing different capabilities. You see yourself comparing two different animals that have different habitats. Was it Albert Einstein that said, you cannot judge a fish by its ability to climb the tree? And you cannot judge a monkey by its ability to swim. Imagine a fish being jealous or comparing itself to a monkey, because a monkey can fly all around, can hop from one tree to the other. Imagine a monkey being very, very envious of a fish because it can swim. It sees the way it just moves its body in the waters. When they are very, very good, when they are perfect in their different habitats. That is what unhealthy comparison does. It makes you feel like you are not even doing anything. It makes you feel like you have not even started. Meanwhile, you are doing your best. You are on your lane. You're not in competition with anyone. There's only one person that you're in competition with, and I'm going to tell you who that person is later. You're in competition with just one person in this whole world. Just one person. Just one person. So we've talked about the possibility of what you see on the other side, because I like using this grass. So we've talked about the possibility of that green grass not being really green, not the greenness not coming from its natural chloroplast, right? But what if it's true? What if the grass on that other side is actually greener? What if that grass is actually well fed, well taken care of, and well tended to, and it's very, very green and doing very, very well? What do? instead of getting stuck in comparison. Oh, how I wish my grass was greener. How I wish my grass was as green as this. What have I been doing with my life? What you need to do, is to go and ask how. Is to go and ask how. Is to go and ask how. So if I put out very happy pictures, right? So people keep asking me, Chinaza, how are you always very, very happy? I mean, in all of your pictures, you're always smiling, you're always shining teeth. It could be that I'm not always very happy, but when I want to take pictures, I'll smile, right? And it could be that I have found a way to keep myself happy. So if for real, I have found a way to keep myself happy, but you are just filled with so much bitterness and heartbreaks and negative emotions, what you can do is to come to me to ask, how do you do it? How exactly are you able to remain calm in the midst of storms? How exactly are you able to be so collected? How did you get to this point? I don't want to envy you. I want to know what you did. I want to see do you have a blueprint? Do you have a framework that I can follow? You go to that mom who seems to have it all figured out. You ask her, how do you do this? My kids will not let me have 1 minute of rest. Please tell me, how exactly are you able to even get your kids to stay together for a picture? Because mine won't even do that. And she'll tell you, if there needs to be a price paid, you need to pay it so that your own grass can be green instead of being stuck in unhealthy comparison. Do you understand? You need to learn to ask questions, especially from those people that you feel are doing better than you are doing. Especially from those people you think are on the same path as you, but they're already doing very, very well. Learn to ask questions. Learn to ask questions, because if you don't, you just keep thinking that you are not worthy enough. It could be just one thing that you are not getting right that is making your grass to remain yellow or gray or ashy. And when you apply just that one principle from that other person whose grass is actually greener, your own grass will start getting greener. So that relationship that seems to be perfect, and when you got closer, you notice that they are actually living a very happy life. You could ask, what is your secret? How do you do this? How is it that both of you rhyme so well? How is it that you both harmonize each other very well? How is it? And if they tell you, you can apply that to your unique, you can modify that advice to your own unique situation and see how it works for you. See if it will make your grass greener. Unhealthy comparison is just the worst thing that happened to anyone. Just the worst thing that happened to anyone. Sis is here, Faith Akoyi. Thank you so much for tuning in. She says, our journeys are different dimensions, different giftings, different expressions. Understand what you've been called to do and stay in your lane. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. We are all different. We're on different journeys and different lanes. So just stay in yours. So learn to ask questions. Learn to ask questions. It's very, very important. It will save you a lot of mental stress. Learn to ask questions. Another thing that I have here is you need to be able to know where you are in your journey. You need to be able to identify the path you are in right now in your journey, so that you need to know where you are in your journey, right? So that you can know what to do next, so that you can identify what you've been doing wrong, what you've not been doing right. You know, you can learn to find out all those other places that you're lacking, all those other places that you need to improve. Because if you are not truthful to yourself about your journey, you're just lying, and there's no way you're going to make substantial effort. Gracie says, but people are not the same, sis. So might not tell you if you asked. Yes, not everyone will tell you. Not everyone will tell you, but that is why you can also do your research, right? That is why you can also do your research. You have your phone, you have your smartphone, you have access to contents everywhere. You have access to anything that you want to get access to. So even if they're not able to tell you, you have been able to identify what the problem is with your grass, why your grass is not shining, why your grass is not green, why it seems as if the photosynthesis no dey work very well, that the chloroplast in your green plants are not working. When you identify that, you can conduct your research. So let's say in my journey as an influencer, I just noticed that my followership is not growing anymore, and it's telling on me. So I just need to sit back, look at my activities over time, and see what I haven't been doing right. There's no way, if I'm being truthful to myself, there is no way I will not be able to find out what the problem is. There's no way. Maybe I have been putting out content that my audience does not want. Maybe I have been putting out content that are beginning to misalign with the values that I started with. Because it was what I started with that's carrying me. It's what I started with that brought those people in the first place. So if I start doing things that are not congruent with the values that I started with, it is only natural that my audience will have to drop or not increase at all. They will go on to people who still hold on to the values that I started with that I no longer uphold. So I might need to make adjustments, unless it is a necessary phase that I need to move on to. Like it's a drastic reinvention, right? Where I take up a new set of values and choose, okay, this is the path you are going to be on right now. And these are your values. These are what you're going to stand for from now on. So it will be okay if my audience do not want to continue with me anymore. I'll just keep on building until the people who are interested in that new set of values that I have will begin to join, will begin to follow me. But if I still have that same value, but I'm not getting enough followership, then I might need to look at my content. I might need to look at, is it that I'm putting out too much write-ups? Is it that I'm putting out too much videos? What exactly is it that my audience wants? So that I can be doing more of that. Who is here? Mary, my goodness. Greetings, sis. Oh my God, it's good to have you here. Oh, thank you for joining. Thank you for tuning in, sis. I am elated. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. So you need to identify what exactly is wrong with your grass so that you can tend to eat better. If you're not able to identify that, there's no way you're going to know what to do. All right. And the second thing that I have here is you need to focus on your unique achievements. When you look at others and their achievements, you have this sense of, I never start to, or she does it so well. How come I cannot? I bet there is something that you do very well that person cannot do very well. I bet that there is something that comes very natural to you that will be very alien to the other person. You need to know yourself. You need to focus on yourself. You need to focus on those things that you can do that give you an edge. Someone says it's your unfair advantage. What can you do? What are those things that you do very well? What are those things that you do very well? Stop comparing your ability to swim with someone else's ability to climb. You might be a fish and you're envious of a monkey. You know balance now. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Focus on your strengths. Focus on your uniqueness. Focus on what makes you stand out. Stop looking at how far they have gone. Stop looking at how well they are doing. You can learn from them. You can glean some inspiration, get some inspiration from them, but don't make their lives a standard for yours, because you are on your own unique lane. You're on your own journey, and it is very, very wrong for you to do anything that will make you more like them. You are being very unfair to yourself and to your genius if you keep doing things that make you more like another person instead of refining yourself to be the best version of yourself that you can ever be. I'm learning. Well, I have lots of mentors. I have lots of role models. I have lots of people that I learn how they do their things, but I don't imitate them. I don't want to be like them, because I want to be the best version of me. I want to be the first Chinaza favor that the world will ever see, like the very first and the only. Because when some people come to me, I like how, I love what you're doing, I want to be like you, I am very quick to shut them down. Don't want to be like me. Learn what I do, apply it to yourself as it's unique to you, and be the best version of yourself. You owe it to the world to be the best version of you, but you are just wanting to be the second someone else. If you could see the best version of yourself, if you could see your highest self, you will not even have time to look around or to start thinking, this person is doing better, or I'm doing worse, or this person is doing worse than I am, and you're happy that you're doing better than every other person. Because, like I said before, unhealthy comparison goes both ways. Whether you are comparing yourself to someone who is already ahead of you, someone who's already doing well, and you're feeling insecure, or you're comparing yourself to someone who seems to be behind you, and you're feeling a sense of self-worth. Your self-confidence should not come from external validations or what other people around you are doing. I said before that there is only one person that you're in a competition with, and that person is you. You. I am not in competition with anyone. I just pity anyone who thinks that they're competing with me as a favor, because I don't copy anyone. If you have watched me do my things over time online, you'll see that I don't do my things the way anybody does. In fact, when I started out on Facebook, I was not looking anywhere. I was not looking around. I was just marching forward. Eyes front. That's what I was doing. I didn't even know who was posting. I didn't know who was not posting. It was recently that I started looking around to see, okay, this is what people are doing. How can I add this to what I'm doing to be better? What can I do to be better? Because I'm not an island, you're not an island. So it's important that we learn to look at what people are doing and see if we can inculcate some practices or some routines that work. But then we don't have to copy. You just apply it to your unique self, to your unique situation. Because you are a sacred space. You are a sacred being. And you will be desecrating yourself. You'll be desecrating your genius if you keep on thinking that others are better than you. You are only in competition with the person you were yesterday. That's what I tell myself. I'm only in competition with the Chinaza of yesterday. I am constantly trying to be better every day. So I used to be very, very hot-tempered. Very, very hot-tempered. Right? Not the kind of hot-tempered that will scatter things and destroy and shout. No. I used to be very quick to anger, but the only way you will know is that I'll just withdraw or my countenance will change. That is all. And then I saw that this is spoiling things for me. Oh. It was really spoiling things for me, and I decided I was going to get better. I didn't make that decision because of any other person. I made it because of me. And I knew every single day this is what I need to do. I need to start taking I need to be more aware of my emotions and put it in control. Whenever I feel like it's welling up inside of me, I just take a deep breath, maybe count, and other practices that I've been doing to be a better person. And I'm so happy that my mom would say, Chinaza, where did your hot temperedness go to? What happened to you? So, mommy, I don't know. I just don't know. I think it is God. I'm not in competition with anyone. On the online space, we are doing our thing. You don't host a writing challenge. You got to ever hosted a writing challenge. What is your mission? What is your goal? Why do you want to? You could host one for a different reason than I had. I had the message that I needed the world to get to hear. And I knew that putting it out on my own I will not be able to reach as many people as possible. So I had to put it in the form of I had to put it in the form of a challenge so that people can interpret it in different ways and put it out to their audiences. And then I just felt, okay, maybe I could just reward the best 3 articles. That was my reason. Yours could be to make money. Maybe you host a paid writing challenge. Yours could be for any other reason. But don't do it because this other person is doing it. Don't compare. Don't copy. Don't imitate. You can learn. You can be inspired by them. But don't compare. It is very, very unhealthy for you. So celebrate with others. That is the last thing that I have here. One of the ways to deal with unhealthy comparison is to celebrate with others. Genuinely celebrate with others. Because why should you feel sad that another person is doing better than you, but you expect others to be happy for you when you are doing well, right? I mean, is there a higher form of wizardry? I don't think so. I don't think so. When others are doing well, when good things happen to others, when others hit some certain milestones in their journeys, please celebrate with them as if it's you. And if it is somewhere that you want to get to, you don't have to be jealous, right? You don't have to be jealous. Let's say a friend of yours sold a course and he or she got about, let's say, 500 participants or registrants and just hit 5 million naira in, let's say, 1 month. And that has been your goal. You've been doing, let's say, just about 50% or 100% in your online course. Now, instead of being jealous or comparing your journey with this other person, oh, I've been doing this for years and this person came and did it in few months and did well. Instead of feeling bad, you have to celebrate with the person genuinely from your heart, because you see, the universe hears us. The universe connects with us. So if what you are saying in your mouth or from your mouth is different from what's going on in your heart, there's a disconnection there. But if you're genuinely happy for others, you are going to attract. Let's not even go there. You're going to attract positive energy. You're going to attract things that will make it celebrate. Now, after genuinely celebrating with them, what you need to do, like I said before, is to go and ask them, what exactly did you do to get here? I don't mind paying for that knowledge if I have to. I need this kind of result in my own journey. Please tell me, how did you get here? And if it is someone who means well for you, they're going to tell you. If not, you can do your research. You can learn from someone else. I mean, they can't be the only ones having that kind of results, right? because humans will always be humans. They might not always want to let you in on their secrets, but you can learn to do your research. You can learn to try to find some other persons who are also doing well in that regard and learn from them. Apply it to your own journey and see what kind of results you're going to get. Unhealthy comparison will just leave you feeling out of place and leave you feeling dumb when you are very, very intelligent. It will make you feel like you are just the dumbest person in the room because you don't have something to offer in a particular conversation. So let's say someone like me that loves music. I love music a lot. If it has to do with music, I can talk from now till morning and till night again. Like, you wouldn't know that this Chinaza can be that talkative. I can talk and talk and talk and talk and discuss anything music that you want us to discuss. But when it comes to, let me not even say, when it comes to any other thing that I'm not interested in, I will not talk. But I will not feel dumb because I don't have so much to contribute. I'm just not interested in this. It's not my path. This is your path and you're doing so well in it. Please talk away. When it's my own turn, I'm going to talk the hell out of this room. So understand your journey, know who you are, know your path, and stay on your lane. If your grass is not as green as you want it to be, please know what is wrong with your grass. Learn what you need to do to make it greener. But don't start feeling bad that your grass is not green enough when you are just actually comparing your grass to a colored grass on the other side. Because most of the time, 90% of the time, those other grasses, those other green grasses you see are artificial. They are fake, they are shallow, and they are superficial. It's only very few grasses that are actually green. So, what do you need to do? What have you learned to do? How have you learned to deal with those feelings of unworthiness coming from unnecessary comparison and unhealthy comparison? I think the only antidote is to, like I said before, know who you are, know your journey, stay on your lane. Know who you are, know your journey, stay on your lane, stay on your path. Walk your walk. Don't walk for me and don't walk someone else's walk. Your life is your movie. Your life is your story to tell. Don't let someone else tell that story for you. And don't tell my story for me. I will not tell your own for you. So many of us are playing the leading role in people's stories. Meanwhile, we are supposed to be playing the lead role in our lives. So it is important that you just take this seriously and apply to your life and see how things turn out for you. My baby is already at the door knocking, so I will need to leave now. Do you have any question for me? Do you have any contribution? Thank you so much, Jesu Botemi. Thank you for tuning in. Mr. Lucky Nathan, it's good to have you here. Nzwa Saka, thank you for tuning in. Here's your Deborah. Thank you for joining. Thank you very much. Mr. Victor Itwen, thank you for tuning in. Do you have any question for me? Do you have any contribution before we go off? Okay, I have just 2 minutes before I go. Okay, 4 minutes before I go. I'll be going by 10 p.m. Any question? Patrick Precious, is this your first comment here? Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you joined. Next week, you see, this is a weekly program. Next week, we are going to be having a very wonderful topic also. Last week, if you've not seen the video of last week where we talked about expectations and how to protect your sanity in an insane world, you need to go and watch it just after I drop this one. It was wonderful. All the people who joined live were like, this is the best I've seen. So I said, now I know what has been wrong with my life. I'll start doing better. Expectations. So today we talked about unhealthy comparison and how to deal with it. Next week, we'll be talking about boundaries. Oh, I'm very excited for that one. Boundaries. You should not miss it for anything. And if you enjoyed this session, please share the link to your friends, tell them about it. And next week, when it's time for this conversation again, please endeavor also to tell your friends about it, because it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. We're going to be discussing boundaries because it just needs to be talked about. And many of us do not have boundaries. We just don't. And we take life as it comes and goes. I'm excited for it already. Already. I cannot wait for Thursday to come. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Lucky Nathan says, stay blessed. Amen. Stay blessed too, sir. Patrick Precious. Yes, nah. Thank you so much. Jason Botemi says, all good, ma. Thanks. Okay, so no question. Nzu Asaka says, thanks, sister. I appreciate a lot. I appreciate you too for coming here. I know this is a very unfamiliar platform for this kind of conversation, but you are here. You are here. I mean, I can't ask for anything better. Thank you for being here. Michael Debbie, yes. Patrick Precious is already excited for the next edition. Yes, I cannot wait. Lucky Nathan, I won't miss it. Of course, you shouldn't miss it. You should get your friends, get your relatives, because this is honest conversations. And I just had to move the show from Facebook to YouTube so that we could reach a wider range of audience for people who will not be able to join live or who just need something to help lift their spirits. So we had to move to YouTube for expansion because we are getting better. We're growing. We're getting bigger. So we are just starting out here. And in no time, we're going to be recording thousands and millions of live views. And you all are the reason I'm still coming on here, because you keep showing up. Thank you. Thank you very much. I love you so much. I love you, and I hope to see you next week. Patrick Precious says, I can't wait for next week's program. Me too. I cannot wait. Elsie Francis says, I have learned a lot tonight. Thank you very much. Thank you too. Thank you. I also learned a lot from you guys too. Thank you. So I will be going off now. If you're watching the replay, please drop your comment. I will definitely reply all of them. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week, next Thursday, same time, same channel. 9 p.m. Honest Conversations with Chinaza Favor, episode 10. This is the 10th episode. And next week, we're going to be discussing boundaries, which will be the 11th episode of my talk show. And I cannot wait to see you. I just cannot wait to see you. So take care. I hope you have a wonderful night rest. And I'll see you next week again. Same time, 9 p.m., same channel, Chinaza Favor TV. And subscribe if you've not subscribed already. Bye. Till I see you next time.